sometime during the week. We're ready to kick off here. And number 4, Matthew O'Rourke, will do the honors, kicking for the Crimson Tide. And Dylan Kubani is a short pooch kick is picked up and taken out to about the 40-yard line. Solomon Sanchez was the up man for Concord, who picked up that kickoff. And the Bulldogs are ready to begin on offense, going from left to right. They will be right at the 40-yard line.
As we saw a couple weeks ago, field position was heavily in Bedford's favor, and they're starting pretty good shape here tonight. First possession of the game on their own 40. As they come out, they won the toss and deferred, and Concord chose to kick off. So Bedford offense will take the field with Joe Michael at the helm.
And we've got a 3 receiver set. Motion there by Alex Zwickau. And handoff to Irwin. He slips on the wet turf and goes down for no gain. He'll be at the 40. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, as you mentioned, wet turf here tonight. There's a light but steady rain. It's been raining most of the afternoon. And if we were on natural grass, it might get pretty sloppy, but the footing still might be slippery out here. The new turf here, we'll see how it performs in the rain.
Maybe Irwin had the wrong cleats on. Because I know they have cleats for every weather.
Yeah, so screw-ins, molded, whatever.
2nd down and 10. 2 receivers are to the left of Michael in the shotgun. There's a snap. Michael drops back. And the throw, he's got Solomon Sanchez open at the 46-yard line in Concord territory. It's going to be 1st down for Bedford.
Yeah, nice diving catch by Sanchez there. It was a little out of his reach to catch him in stride, but he went down, pulled it in. Nice 15-yard gain or so.
Yeah, that ball kind of died in air. Sort of a muggy day today. The ball's probably a little bit heavy with the rain. Yeah. So it kind of fell to the ground, but Sanchez compensated and made the catch. Solomon Sanchez, the big offensive weapon for the Bulldogs, with 6 touchdowns on the ground and 1 through the air. 10:43 to go here. First possession for the Bulldogs. Still in that 3 receiver set. The handoff to Irwin, who sweeps to his left. He's got the edge, and he gets a 1st down going all the way to the
we have a flag
30-yard
down,
line.
Flag down in the backfield. I think we're going to have holding on the offense. Yep, there it goes.
That is one thing that the Bulldogs have been fighting this year, these penalties that stall their drives, erasing good plays.
Yeah, those are drive killers, and you know, turnovers and penalties really set you behind in the in that competitive column there. We also have a Concord player that's injured on the far sideline, so we hope that player is okay. Can't see a number at this point in time.
Got himself to the sideline. They're working on his leg. So the indication is hold. It'll be 1st down and 20 from the Bedford 45. And Joe Michael brings his troops to the line. This time they send Scaling as well as Solomon Sanchez to the right. There is a snap. Michael dropping back. There's a blitz, and he throws it over. Gets it over to
it's gone.
Zwickau. He's got a lane. All he's got to do is run past one man. He does, and it's a touchdown for Bedford. A 55-yard pass to Alex Zwickau. And over the middle screen off the blitz from Concord.
That's just outstanding execution by the Bedford offense. You know, they set up in a pass-type situation on 1st and 20. They pause and let the defensive linemen get past those offensive linemen, and they're set up exactly as you said. It looked like a blitz because they were coming through so easily.
So now we're setting up for the extra point. Joe Michael doing the honors with Andrew Gudzinkas holding. The snap, ball's down, kick is up, and perfect. 7-0 Bedford, scoring on their first drive and recovering from that holding play. They lost a 15-yard gain and cashed it in on a 55-yard touchdown pass. Believe it or not, that is only Michael's 3rd touchdown pass of the year.
Yeah, he's had some big plays through the air, gaining chunks of yardage, but as far as punching it into the end zone, they've gotten back out, like you mentioned, to that bulldog formation and that special personnel team and punched a bunch of them in from the 1 and 2 yard line. So it's good to see him get another passing touchdown on the year.
not counting the 2 throws in this game for Michael. His stats on the year, 48 for 79, 508 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. You can add a third one now with that one. His completion percentage is 60.7.
Yeah, and certainly that 55 or 60-yard touchdown pass right there will help those numbers. Yeah, I was wondering on the way over here, being a soggy afternoon and evening, if that would affect their game plan calling at all, run versus pass ratio. And as we saw right there, they have not been discouraged by the soggy conditions.
Michael on the kickoff. Ball is in the air, and it's picked up at the 15-yard line and tackled at the 24 or 25. Trying to get the number of that player. Number 4, O'Rourke.
Yeah, it was O'Rourke on the field for the kickoff return. Got about 5 to 8 yards on his return. So they'll start at their own 25.
So Concord ready to go on offense here.
And as we talked about at the start, this Bedford defense played exceptionally well last week. We'll see if they can force a few turnovers here tonight.
And their quarterback hands it off, and a big hit there. Number 9, Cody Rashid, carrying the ball for Concord, and winds up picking up really no gain. It's going to be, or they're going to give him 3 yards. Okay, it'll be, he gets the ball up to the 28-yard line, so 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, Rashid did a nice job of absorbing that initial contact, but still getting a few yards after that first hit.
Zachary Doward at quarterback for the Crimson Tide. He hands the ball off to Rashid. He gets to about the 31-yard line, another 3-yard gain there on the ground for Rashid. And coming up, we'll have a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, they've kept it on the ground here so far. Most of their pregame plays look like they were, some spread out and keep the ball on the ground, do some ball control type offense.
I think that's what Concord would probably like to do, is keep the ball away from Bedford, try to play the ground control, the clock control game here, slowing the play down. So here we go. It's going to be 3rd down and 4, 2 receivers to the right. There's the snap and the handoff to Rashid again, and he's fighting for yardage, and I think he just got enough for the 1st down up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, good effort by him. He was stood up there maybe a yard or 2 short, but kept those legs pumping and was able to fall over the 35-yard line for their 1st down.
So Rashid getting all the offense so far for Concord, 3 carries for 10 yards. It'll be a 1st down and 10 from the Concord 35-yard line.
And that clock keeps ticking, as we talked about. Ball control, keeping the ball on the ground.
8:16 left in the 1st quarter. Bedford up 7-0. A 55-yard touchdown strike to Alex Zwickau from Joe Michael. Here we go, 1st and 10. Receiver split, 1 on each side, high snap. And this time they're expecting him. Or no, it was a...
Well, play action there.
Fooled me, yeah. I thought they got Rashid in the backfield, but instead it was their quarterback, Doward, who carried it for about a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, I think he even fooled you with his play action there. He looked like he was going to hand off to Rashid. Rashid picked up the blitzer quite well and neutralized him as Doward rolled out to his right side. He had some receivers out there, but none of them were open, so he decided to keep it for that 1-yard gain you spoke of.
So 2nd down and 9 from the Concord 36. Another high snap. Rashid gets the ball again. No gain on that play.
Tough one there. I'm interested to see if Bedford shifts out of their 3-man front here. We've seen it all year. They have 3 down linemen and a 4 linebacker set. And their outside backers are up on the line of scrimmage, so it's effectively a 5-man front. But I don't know if they'll shift into a 4-man front if they start to have trouble. Concord is able to run consistently on them throughout the game here.
So now 3rd and 8 for the Crimson Tide. Matthew O'Rourke is one of the receivers, along with Gabriel Madison. The high snap. This is going to be a pass.
We'll play action again.
Doward
Right, they
it
got
tries look for somebody downfield, but gets sacked. Hayden Cheney was one of the pursuers, brought him down for about a yard loss. It's going to be 4th down and 9.
And Harry, he pulled that down pretty quickly. I'm not sure if he was looking for a quick pass right after that play action, but he made that decision very quickly and decided to run out to his right side.
So they're going to say loss at 2, 4th and 10. And looks like they're going to go for it, or maybe the quick kick here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it could be a quick kick here.
So Doward.
So Sanchez will go back. Yeah, here
It is a quick kick.
Eesh.
And not a very good one at that.
Tough one.
Only about a 15-yard net change in field position here.
Wow, actually, I think it's only about a 6 or 7, 5-yard change in position.
They were at the 35. You're right. The ball went out of bounds just
Yeah.
5 yards downfield. So Bedford's going to take over in enemy territory. They're going to beat the Concord 40 with 6:23 to go and a 7-0 lead, and an excellent field start for their second drive.
Yeah, you said it. That field position is key, and they're taking advantage now.
So a bunch formation, just one receiver for Bedford, hands off to Irwin, who cuts up the middle, but he gets driven down there. Number 11 was the tackler there. That was Kevin McDonough for the Crimson Tide, but Irwin does pick up a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9 at the 39.
That's a good stick by McDonough. Russell was stood up at the line of scrimmage there, and McDonough came through with a bit of a momentum and popped him pretty good as he was standing up there in the hole.
So once again, just one receiver and a bunch formation there for Bedford. And Sanchez on the reverse. Looks like he's got the first down, takes it all the way down to the 27-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Concord.
He had 3 blockers out there in front of him, and he ran by his blockers.
A little impatient. Didn't want to wait for his block to wait. He just kind of took off on his own.
But in that case, his speed might have hurt him. So
yeah, he just got a little impatient. Didn't want to wait for his slow lineman to get to open a lane for him.
Good
but
game,
anyway,
though. 13-yard gain. That's not too bad.
It is a first down for Bedford. And now they split off 2 receivers, scaling to one side, the near side. And there's a handoff to Irwin, sweeps to his left, and he runs into a host of Crimson Tide defenders, and looks like he's going to be held for no gain at the 27.
The outside zone play to the left, and a couple of the Concord defenders were unblocked and able to stack up Russell Irwin on that outside left side.
So now 2nd and 10. With 4:50 to go here in the first quarter, Bedford leading 7-0.
No gain makes it 2nd and 10.
So they haven't attempted a pass yet in this drive. We'll see if that changes on 2nd and 10.
So Sanchez is out there along with Scaling to the right. And it was a play action intended for Solomon Sanchez. That pass was a little bit off target. In fact, it was closer to Jack Bannister for the Tide. Almost had a pickoff there.
The safety made a nice play. Came up on that inside slant. It was just out of reach of Sanchez's outstretched fingers. And as you said, I was a little bit closer to Bannister. Could have come up with a big interception there, deep in their own territory.
So now we're 3rd down and 10 here for the Bulldogs with 4:30 to play. Clock stopped on that incomplete pass. 3 receivers on the field for the Bulldogs. Irwin in the backfield. Michael drops back to pass, waits, finds a man over the middle. He's got Scaling for a touchdown.
Wow, Scaling sat down nicely in that defense and secured the catch, and nobody was within 5 yards of him, so he was able to trot in relatively untouched.
So Joe Michael getting it done through the air today. 2 touchdown passes already, equaling his entire season output. It's now 13-0 Bedford. We're waiting for the extra point. Number 4, Andrew Gudzinkas is the holder. It's a perfect snap and kick. Another extra point for Michael. 14-0 Bedford with 4:24 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, so 2 impressive drives, both ending in touchdowns. One to Scaling, one to Zwickau now, and both through the air. As we were mentioning, it was a little surprising that Michael only had two touchdowns through the air at this point in the season. And now he's matched that season output already in the first 8 minutes of play.
Well, just a reminder, once the score hits 35 points differential, we go to runtime. And Bedford right now is just 21 points away from that threshold. And we've got a score from the Memorial game, Winnicott with a 7-0 lead, a 42-yard touchdown run by Ryan Eaton for the Warriors. 8:47 left in the first period, so Memorial finds themselves trailing in that game.
Let's see if Michael tries to pick out one of those open areas like he's done a few times on past games. Yeah,
and he does.
There it is. It's not going to be handled. Okay.
So it does land there. Concord was ready for that, and they were able to fall on that. And number 12 was the receiver. Unfortunately, we don't have a 12 on our roster, so we can't tell you who that player is.
It's a good job by that player, number 12, though. He saw that ball flopping around on the ground and was able to cover it. Kept possession of it for Concord.
Bill Jennings says it's Tom Brady, moonlighting from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Jeez. I don't know. You know what? That guy looked a little faster than Tom Brady. I'm not sure it was him.
A little younger, too.
Maybe not quite the same size.
So the Tide again, 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Another high snap that Doward pulls down. That's a pass off the hands. I don't know if that's considered a lateral.
Well,
Bedford lands on it. What's the call here?
Side judge on the far sideline says incomplete pass. He must have had a good angle on it. I agree. It looked like it was either parallel or even backwards pass, but that official signaled incomplete pass right away, and it's just going to be an incomplete pass in 2nd and 10.
Was that number 3? Was that Taylor Clark Toy, who was the intended receiver, let it go off his hands?
I didn't catch the number. I'll give it to you in a second.
Got the instant replay there.
Yep, a little delay. I have the phone going too to give me a quasi-instant replay. I got to talk to Bill Jennings to get us a little more technologically advanced so we can get some instant replay here in the booth.
Well, we watched the Londonderry TV crew have instant replay last week. That was a nice addition. There's a handoff, number 5. Cavril Madison, he sweeps to his right, but only picks up about a yard, gets it to about the 29 or 30-yard line. They're going to give him 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
And I believe it was number 5, Cavril Madison, on that last incomplete pass, too, as he was trying to catch that in the slot. So as we were talking about, a strong Bedford defense has put up some impressive play so far, keeping the Concord offense to maybe only 10 total yards.
Yeah, just 1 first down for the Tide so far. So they're faced with another 3rd down here, 3rd and 8 from the 30-yard line. Doward is back there. Cody Rashid. You've got 3 receivers out. Doward rolls to his right, throws incomplete. And that pass was intended for Tyler Clark Toy.
Good coverage out there by Solomon Sanchez, right on the hip of the offensive receiver. And Concord didn't have many options out there on that right side as he rolled out.
So this time the Tide will do a proper punt formation rather than the quick kick. Can you get that number with your binoculars there?
Looks like number 9, Cody Rashid, the tailback.
He gets the snap, kicks it away. It's a line drive. It's going to bounce and roll out of bounds. A little bit better effort than the last time. It's going to come out to the Bedford 46-yard line. So the Bulldogs starting off with decent field position once again.
Yeah, it looks like about the 49, 50-yard line. There you go. It's easier for your offense when they work on a short field. So see if they can capitalize yet again.
We got another score in Division I. Salem with a 7-0 lead over Merrimack in the first quarter. So the ball, they're actually going to give him the ball at the 50-yard line. Hand off to Irwin. He gets up for about a 1-yard gain into Concord territory. You call him down at the 49-yard line.
Looked like big Jarrett Lamoureux on the tackle there. Stuffing up the middle there. Big defensive lineman with some help by number 51, Tom Sargent.
want to say congratulations to the Bedford varsity volleyball team. Still undefeated, a 3-0 win over Hollis Brookline. They are 7-0. 3-receiver set here for Bedford. There's the snap. Irwin goes off to the side. The pass is off his hands, and that looked like a backward pass too, but the officials call that incomplete.
Yeah, a little belly route by Russell Irwin there. Couldn't pull it in. Looked, it was almost the screen as they were getting that out pretty quickly. Some of those defensive linemen were coming through quick. Could have seen the offensive lineman getting out on that left flat, maybe getting some blocks ahead of him, but it was an incomplete pass.
I'd like to see the replay and see if that pass did travel backwards somewhat. I thought it did by about a yard.
I'll keep an eye on it, Harry.
So now we're 3rd down and 9 on the Concord 49-yard line. 4 receivers out there for Bedford now. Irwin in the backfield. Here's a throw intended for Scaling, and it goes off his hands, incomplete. He was covered by Devon Duncan, and that's going to bring up 4th down for Bedford. They're going to punt the ball away.
Yeah, Scaling tried to adjust. He was looking over his inside shoulder. That ball came on the outside shoulder. He tried to pivot around and get his hands on it, but just out of his reach. Yeah, I'm looking at that replay of that that 2nd down pass, and it looked like it was forward. Russell Irwin was behind Joe Michael when he made the pass, but the ball was moving forward. So those officials got it right. Kudos to that team. Now we'll see a punt.
Bedford's ready to take it. The high snap, pulled down.
Ooh, blocked.
And a block punt, but it goes forward, bounces, and picked up by... Trying to get the number. Was that 40?
I thought it looked like number 50 over there.
Number 50 would be Douglas Smith.
58 maybe?
The up man. But
Haskell.
he's going to get the ball at the 36-yard line. So a decent start here for Bedford. 3 possessions, 2 touchdowns, 14-0 the lead with 2:26 to go here in the first. Concord trying to get some offense going. They only have 1 first down so far in this game. So Doward in the backfield with Rashid, running pretty much the same offense. Doward pulls the ball down, decides to take off with it, and he's tackled by a group of Bulldogs after getting right back to the 46-yard line, so no gain there.
Yeah, excellent play by Ryan Allard there. He was keeping his outside leverage, forced the quarterback back inside, and then shed the blocker and got that tackle. Nice job by Allard.
So 2nd down and 10 here from the 36-yard line. 1:54 to go here in the first quarter. Bedford up by a pair of touchdowns, 14-0. 3 receivers out there for Concord. The snap, handoff to Rashid. Bulldogs were not fooled.
Bottled up quickly.
Hayden Cheney with the tackle along with Sam Lacombe. And it's going to be a loss of about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 13.
Yeah, you know what? I think that was Sam Lacombe on that last play, too. I had the number wrong. It was 74, Sam Lacombe. And as you mentioned, Hayden Cheney, they were both in that backfield quickly to wrap up Rashid on that last carry.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs have adjusted their defense a bit to recognize the play action and focus on number 9, Rashid.
Screen. Oh, good tip.
So Lacombe getting the hands up there and tipping that pass by Doward. Intended for Rashid. It's going to be a 4th down. So another 3 and out here for the Crimson Tide. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter.
It was quite an athletic play there by Lacombe. You could feel the ease at which he got through the offensive line. And as soon as the defensive lineman feels that, you got to get your hands up, look around. Some of them seek out the running back to see if they're having a middle screen there.
Bad snap along the ground, but it's picked up, and a very good punt this time.
Yeah, you know what, though? Unfortunately, number 6, the punter, Jacob Plant, he had his knee down when he fielded that ball, so they ruled him down on the 21-yard line.
Wow, you're right. he had to get down to pick up. I mean, he did an excellent job picking up that snap, but like you said, the fact that he had his knee down means the ball is down at the 20-yard line. An amazing start here for the Bulldogs. So a pretty good punt, one for naught.
Unfortunate for him. Again, you made a nice play on that low snap, but knee is down, you're down. Turnover there, and Bedford takes advantage.
So Bedford's got a chance to put another one into the end zone here in the first quarter. 4 receivers set. Handoff to Irwin up the middle. He hits a wall of defenders and is brought down. Austin Wells, the tackler for Concord. It's going to be no gain. 2nd down and 10. Clock is ticking down to about 34 seconds to go here.
In those types of situations, you almost wonder if you're going to see one of those quick change plays, right? The offense comes onto the field, the defense is scrambling a bit, and you look to see if they're going to go up top. We're going to have a timeout here.
That was Austin Wells.
Looks like one of the Concord defensive linemen has an equipment issue.
Austin Wells leaves the field, and he's replaced by number 80. And we don't have a number. We don't have a name to go with that number.
Oh, they're killing us with these rosters, Harry.
So 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's a pass for
ball.
Sanchez, almost intercepted.
Ooh.
No, he got it.
Wow.
Sanchez, I thought the defender, number 15, Jack Bannister, was playing the angle perfectly, but somehow the ball got to Sanchez, and it's a first down at the 11-yard line, or at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, Bannister was in position, but, great athletic play by Sanchez. Joe Michael put it where only his receiver could get it, just out of reach of the defender, and Sanchez had to make a beautiful diving catch to reel that in, as you said, on that 7-yard line.
So it's going to be 1st and goal when we start the second quarter. After one, Bedford leads 14-0.
Yeah, good start for the Bulldogs. Again, it starts with the field position battle.
Here's a reminder, on Tuesday, October 20th, the Bedford varsity golf team will be competing in the Division I championship at the Mount Washington Country Club. We wish the boys the best of luck. They've always had a good golf team, and we'll see what we can do this year.
Yeah, that was postponed from this past week, right, with the torrential downpours on
believe you're right.
Tuesday.
And actually, we're getting a bit of a break from the weather now. Since kickoff, it's been fairly rain-free. It was raining most of the day, but we're in a break now.
Yeah, I can't believe you just jinxed us like that, Harry. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I shouldn't have said anything.
It is a light mist at this point. Doesn't seem to be affecting the play at all. The cheerleaders have their rain gear on, the little ponchos, and you see many umbrellas out here in the stands.
And, of course, I had to say something, and there's a line of showers to the west of us. We're kind of skirting it right now.
Okay.
So maybe we'll get lucky.
Let's keep skirting it.
So the start of the second quarter here with Bedford 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Just one receiver in the set. They look to the sideline, get the play.
Looks like Coach Matthews was changing that play as they were getting under center.
And there's a handoff to Sanchez. He's all alone into the end zone. Touchdown. Solomon Sanchez, kind of a reverse handoff. And he had no resistance finding the end zone.
Yeah, a little misdirection play. Coach Matthews saw something that he liked there, and he made the audible from the sideline. So they switched their formation, changed their play, and we saw Sanchez go in for that misdirection untouched, as you mentioned.
So another extra point here by Joe Michael. Good snap. Ball is up, and it is good. 21-0. Bedford scoring on the first play of the second quarter, and they got a 3-touchdown lead. And that adds to Sanchez's total. He had 7 TDs coming into this game. He's had 2 already, right? The 21-yard pass and the 7-yard run, I believe. Is that?
I think Scaling was on that.
Scaling.
21-yard pass. Yep.
Okay, so.
Scaling, who's filling in for Menderson Ely, Menderson Ely, who is out with an injury of some sort. He's in a boot on the sideline, so a regular member of their skilled position and one of their wide receivers is unfortunately on the IR today.
So that is the eighth touchdown of the year. 7th one on the ground for Solomon Sanchez. So we're ready to kick off. Concord going left to right this time. Michael meets the ball, and this time it's booted down the field. And the receiver had to get back there. Tackled at the 21-yard line. Number 4, Matthew O'Rourke, was the runner for the Tide.
About a 10 or 12-yard return as he fielded that on about the 9-yard line. It was a good boot by Michael. And it goes unsaid, too, that a lot of teams have struggles with their extra points, and Joe Michael has been very consistent kicking the ball, too. Something that I have an affinity for.
Oh, Bedford's always been lucky with their kickers. They've had a string of solid kickers. Maddie Lucantoni last year was an excellent one.
Yeah, I think that was 2 years ago, but she was one of the
Has it been 2 years?
all-state player.
Well, time's a blur to me. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been 2020 for about 5 years already. So here we go, 1st and 10. The snap is high. A handoff to Rashid, who's able to get out of one tackle and picks up another 3 yards up to the 24-yard line. We'll have 2nd down and 7.
Hey, good job by Rashid to shed off of the first 2 tacklers and bounce out. Got a 4-yard gain.
I've got to say that Zach Doward has been really fighting for those snaps. His center keeps snapping the ball fairly high. He's got to go up and pull those down like a rebound every time almost.
That's something to watch, see if there's a significant play where he has to either stutter to mess up the timing.
Handoff up the middle to Rashid. He's got a hole, and he's going to have a 1st down. Gets it up to the 35-yard line. So Rashid's been getting the majority of the snaps here in the carries. The bulk of the Concord offense. He gets a 1st down, only their 2nd of the game. They're at the 36-yard line of Bedford.
That was a solid run, too, about a 10-yard run. And he was a little slow to get up there, though.
Yeah, I noticed that. He looked like something, he definitely didn't feel too good getting up there.
You keep pounding your running back up inside there. He's eventually going to take a beating.
3 receivers. A quick pass out to the sideline is complete to Jack Bannister. He gets it up to the 47-yard line. That's going to be, the 42-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for Concord.
An efficient play there, too. Quick out. Helps make the down and distance a little more feasible to achieve with a 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 4.
We're at the 10-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter. Bedford in the lead, 21-0. Up to the line of scrimmage, Concord at their own 42-yard line. The snap and a handoff to Rashid. He goes to his left. Gets it over the 45 to the 46. That's going to be close. Could be a 1st down. And the officials give the signal. It is a 1st down. So
move the chains. Move the chains.
2 1st downs on this drive for the Crimson Tide.
Doward has to be creeping up to maybe 15 carries already.
Well, maybe when Drew gets us his halftime stats, we'll be able to confirm that.
Keeping him busy in the backfield. So
Drew Dixon, he has, it's good for him. He's upstairs, out in the elements. At least it's not raining on him.
Let the young man brave the elements. It's good for him.
Better him than us. Here's a snap. Looks like the center's towel went with the ball, but here's an attempt downfield, wide open, overthrown though. The pass intended for number 22, Isaiah Turner. That could have been a big play, but it was just a little too far.
Yeah, and if it was complete, it would have come back anyway. We have holding in the offensive backfield. As Doward was rolling out, there was a hold by one of his linemen out in front. And that would have come all the way back. But you're right, there were 2 wide receivers way behind the defensive backfield by about 5 yards each. And if they missed something back there, they're going to have to square that away. Maybe it was a coverage miss or they figured it was a run.
Well, the Tide haven't been throwing the ball at much. Most of their offense has been coming from number 9, Rashid. So it might have caught the offense a little off guard.
And that's going to be a tough penalty, too, because that's a spot foul. So meaning wherever the foul happened, it's 10 yards from there. So now they're going to be backed up at 1st and 23.
Still in the first period, Salem with a 14-0 lead over Merrimack right now. There's a snap to Doward. Throws it to the flat, and it's dropped by number 5, Gabriel Madison.
I think he actually caught that for -2 yards.
Are they going to spot him there?
Yeah. Yeah.
He had to get down. Oh, he had to get down on his knees to catch it.
Yep. Yep.
See, I can imagine any receiver would make the effort to catch that ball, but by catching it, you're actually losing yardage for your team. But it's a natural, reaction to the ball coming to you. You make every attempt to catch it.
You sure
in
do.
In the NFL or in I guess in college, no, that's considered down in college too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But in the NFL, you're able to get right back up and keep running. Here's a running play. Doward gets it up to the 43-yard line. He dropped back to pass, couldn't find anybody, and decides to take off.
Yeah, good scramble by Doward. The play kind of fell apart right there. He's feeling pressure from the defensive lineman in his face and scrambled out to his left side and picked up about, 11 or 12 yards.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 3rd and 14 now. Long conversion here for the Tide. 7:52 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, so maybe they go back to that screen pass on that 3rd and long.
So they come to the line of scrimmage, and they've got 3 receivers out there. Low snap for Doward this time. Picks it up off the ground, rolls to his right, throws, but it misses everybody. It's going to be incomplete, and they will have to punt.
Yeah, it's a tough ball. He was looking for number 4, Matt O'Rourke. And as he's coming out to that right side, it's a tough throw for a quarterback. You have to get your shoulders around. You got to get your hips around towards the target. And unfortunately, the throw was about 2 or 3 yards short. So we'll see 4th and 13, 4th and 14, and they'll go back in their punt formation.
So is it Jacob Plant? Oh, he fumbles.
Did the same thing.
The snap hit the ground. So they're going to call him down once again. It's going to be Bedford ball at the 30-yard line.
I think that might have been a premature whistle by the official because
I agree.
Although he looked like he was going to have possession, he didn't get possession of that ball. That could have been a fumble.
No, I think you're absolutely right. He didn't. I don't know if his knee came down or what. I know the ball hit him in the leg. I think he was cognizant not to kneel down with it.
Yeah.
But the ball was loose. It could have been a fumble, could have been picked up and returned, but instead the referees give Bedford the ball on the Concord 30-yard line. 7:19 to go here in the half. Another great drive start. Michael rolls out to his right and completes a pass to Zwickau. No, they're going to call it an interception. Yeah. It is, number 11.
Yeah, there you go.
Kevin McDonough gets in front of Alex Zwickau, takes the ball away from him. So a big defensive play there by Concord. Gives them a fresh set of downs back at their 22-yard line, or 32-yard line.
Yeah, McDonough stepped up and wrestled the ball away there. Good play by him, and they get a quick change.
So they were... McDonough was just read that play perfectly and got in front of the pass. So here we go, 1st and 10 for Concord. They're at their own 32-yard line. Doward has to evade one sack, and he doesn't evade the second one. Brought down by number 70, Michael Kubicki.
And Parker Henrishon was on the play there too, number 24.
So that's going to be a loss of about 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 19 for the Tide.
Behind schedule too. Again, it makes it tough on that offense as you go backwards.
So they come to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers, both to the left. Doward hands it off to Rashid. Rashid finds the seam, but only picks up about 5 yards, gets it up to about the 29-yard line. Still going to need about 12 to get the first down.
Number 39, Finn O'Neill, came up to make the tackle there in the hole after about a 6 or 7 yard gain.
We're
Nice
approaching.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say we were approaching the 6-minute mark. You were saying?
Yeah, just a nice sure arm tackle by O'Neill as he came up and filled the hole.
There's a snap, and Henrishon comes in. His rush is picked up. Dowry carries the ball, gets it up to about the 39-yard line. That's going to be still short of a first down, but not by much.
A good scramble for another 7, 8 yards. We got 4th and 5 or so. You know, I was talking about it earlier, the Bedford defensive line is staying at 3-man front, but they're coming with pressure with those linebackers too. And putting quite a bit of pressure on the Concord quarterback. But he's made a couple of good scrambles to get out of pressure. So 4th and 5, it looks like they're going to go for it here, or maybe do that quick kick again. Yeah,
It is a quick kick.
This one turned out much better.
And it's got a positive roll for Concord. Keeps going down at the 19-yard line. So Bedford's going to have their longest field position of the night. With 4:57 to play, they're going to start on their own 19-yard line, leading 21-0. I'm Harry Kozlowski here with Corey Munster-Tiger. You're listening and watching Bedford football on WBNHLP Bedford and on BCTV 23 and 1072. George Cox and Bill Jennings here on camera and production. Guys always do a great job.
Very much appreciated by the crew here.
And we know we've got a big audience for this on over the air and on streaming. There's a handoff up the middle to Irwin. He's able to pick up about 4 yards up to about the 23-yard line.
I think Concord head coach Brown was probably a little disappointed in his punt team those last couple times with the knee down in the backfield, so he probably relied on that quick kick, and it certainly turned out well for him, changing field position with that gigantic roll.
Well, that's really the best punt they've had so far tonight. 2nd down and 6 for Bedford. They're at the 23-yard line. 4 receivers spread out. Michael drops back. There's a pass for Zwickau. He gets it. Picks up the first down. Still going up the sideline. Looks like it could have been a face mask there by number 4, Matthew O'Rourke, but the officials don't call it. Literally stuck his hand in his face mask and pulled him down, but got away with that one. So it's a first down for the Bulldogs. No harm, no foul, I suppose. 36-yard line is where they're going to spot the ball.
I really like how Zwickau went up there with his hands, caught the ball away from his body, then tucked it away, turned, made a little move, picked up first down yardage. Solid play by Alex Zwickau.
3:40 to go here in the half. New set of downs for the Bulldogs. They're at their own 36-yard line. Motion by Solomon Sanchez, and he picks it up, going to his right. Gets driven out of bounds after about a 2-yard gain. Pushed out there by number 11, Kevin McDonough of Concord.
Yeah, good job by McDonough sniffing that out. He was onto it. He saw that motion coming and figured they might be giving it to Sanchez there.
They're going to mark it as no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 36.
Yeah, and they ran that to the near corner too, right? The short side of the field. Might consider going out to the wide side of the field, giving Sanchez a little bit more space to work his magic and utilize his speed.
Good point. So 3 receivers out there right now. Kubani, Sanchez, and Scaling are out there. Irwin in motion. Michael drops back, throws, and he hits Sanchez over the middle.
That's coming back.
And there's a flag down, unfortunately, but that was a big gainer there, about a 25-yard pass.
I think they might have had 2 men in motion.
We'll wait for the official here. Give us a signal.
I think they're going to call procedure 2 men in motion.
Yes, They do.
Yeah.
So that penalty erases a big gainer there.
That's a tough call, too. It might be that they didn't pause long enough. The two guards usually have been going down into their stance, their three-point stance, and it seemed like there was some kind of explanation from the referee to Coach Matthews, and Coach Matthews was not pleased on that one.
Had a few choice words for the officials there.
Hopefully our mic didn't catch that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Bill says it did.
We have some of those radar mics down on the sideline, Mr. Jennings.
Second and 15 now from the 31-yard line. 3:11 to go here in the half. Michael drops back. Looks like they're setting up a screen intended for Scaling. That was a little too far in front of him. Even if he caught it, I don't know if he would have gotten very far.
Yeah, McDonough and O'Rourke were both out there. They saw what was coming, and that could have been a good pop on Scaling if he did come down with that.
At least he knocked it down to avoid any potential interception. So the clock is stopped now at 3:01. It's 3rd and 15. They send Scaling and Sanchez out to the right. Kubani is to the left. Michael drops back, throws it down, and it's intended, just off the hands of Scaling. Couldn't quite pull that in. It's going to be 4th and 15, and Bedford will punt it away.
That makes it 4th down and 15.
You know, Joe Michael put that ball right where he needed to. I think Scaling's going to want that one back. He got a hand on it. A little bit awkward on the last little bit. Tried to adjust and got his right mitten on it, but couldn't pull it in. I think he's going to want that one back.
That procedure penalty, a big game changer on this drive. Bedford unable to move the ball after that. 4th and 15. Punting it away here. Concord with 2 men back to receive. Sanchez's kick. It's going to be a fair catch at the 37, 38-yard line in Concord territory. The Tide will take over there. With 2:50 to go in the first period, the first half, it is 21-0 Bedford.
That's good lefty boot by Sanchez. Got that ball out there, good ways.
A little bit of a line drive. It didn't have a lot of height, but
coverage was good, forced him into a fair catch.
Quick reminder, your girls varsity field hockey team will be hosting the first round of the Division I tournament Wednesday, October 21st. This event will be live streamed on the Bedford Athletic YouTube channel and Facebook. Another high snap pulled down by Doward. And after a short gain, I believe that's Cameron Martin on the carry, number
Avery
21.
Lawrence there,
Avery
number
Lawrence?
27, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that gets him up to the 40-yard line, gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 with the clock ticking, 2:31 to go.
Hayden Cheney looks in for the defensive signal and calls it out to his defensive crew. Inside linebacker seems to be the quarterback of the defense.
The snap, handoff to Rashid. He finds a hole, but it's pulled down after a gain of 3. So it'll be a 3rd down, 3 or 4. We got the ball up to the 43-yard line. So they're getting some chunks of yardage here, but they've got a ways to go to punch it into the end zone or at least get within field goal range here if they want to at least get on the board before the end of the half.
Yeah, sure do. Especially a minute 40 left. You know, all you need is one big play. But those have not come easily for the Concord offense.
So here we go, 3rd down and 4. They're at the 43-yard line. Bedford showing blitz. They pull away. And handoff to Avery Lawrence is snuffed for a short loss or no gain. They're going to say he's down at the 43, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 4. And we'll see what Concord does.
Alex Zwickau and Colin Chandonnet combined on the tackle there.
Concord just called timeout. I mean, Bedford just called timeout, trying to preserve a little bit of this first half.
Little strategery there by Coach Matthews. Want to give his offense some time to work. Hopefully get some points on the board.
Run the hurry up. Yeah, why not? I believe, yeah, Concord got the ball. Who got the ball first? Was it Concord? Can't even
Uh,
remember.
Bedford started out.
Bedford had the first possession.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you want to at least get your offense back on the field here in the first half, especially since you're not going to get the ball to start the third quarter.
Sanchez and Scaling are back to receive.
And Avery Lawrence is back to punt. Another low snap that goes right to the wickets. Lawrence has to come down with it. He does pick it up, but then he's sacked. And he's down at the 16-yard line.
That was a really tough turn of events for the Concord team. That snapback came back low again. And as you mentioned, Avery Lawrence had a tough time fielding that off of the turf.
Because he didn't want to get on a knee and wind up giving the ball away there. That happened twice already.
Sure.
So here we go. Bedford, excellent position here with just a minute and 13 to go. They're on the Concord 15-yard line. Try to punch in another touchdown before the end of the half.
It makes that timeout by Coach Matthews even more strategic.
And here's the reverse handoff to Sanchez. He's got some room. Going to his right, pulled down at the 9-yard line. Gain of 6 right there. It's going to be second down and 4. Clock is running. We're under a minute now.
And that time they came out to the wide side of the field, so Sanchez had a little bit more room to work with his speed.
Waiting for the snap. Michael throws it to Scaling, and he's tackled just shy of the end zone. It is a first down. It's going to be first and goal at the 1-yard line.
And Bulldogs hustle up to the line, but they're going to take a timeout.
They've got 3. Might as well burn one here.
Sure.
38 and a half seconds to go. They're knocking on the door just 1 yard away from their 4th touchdown.
It looks like it's going to be on the 3-yard line, so you think about what your best 2-point conversion play is.
You get
38 seconds. You probably have, probably 3 shots at it, depending on if you want to go to the air.
Reflecting on this first period, the special teams for Concord, the long snap has been brutal for them and has resulted in some tremendous field position for Bedford. I've seen a lot of centers in NHIAA hold the ball like this and kind of hold it, by the end of the football and throw it back through their legs. But I wonder if the Concord snapper is trying to do it the NFL style, where he's trying to throw the spiral.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not really working out.
That different grip will work on a pistol or a shotgun if you're getting it back to your quarterback. But if you're hiking it back there 14 yards or so, that's not going to work. You're going to need to spiral it back to that punter. And you're absolutely right. The special teams has had a crucial impact on this game.
So Michael has to tell his players where to go. Scaling goes wide. Zwickau. Now Solomon Sanchez with the motion. He gets the snap. He gets taken down. A bit of a loss there. So he's down at the 2-yard line. It'll be second down. Another timeout here for Bedford.
Ooh, there's a Concord player that's injured, so it's going to be an official's timeout.
Number 73 for Concord. That's Austin Wells. Down on his side. Not sure what happened. They're checking him out.
Again, that misdirection play, bringing Sanchez back and around from the left to the right side. It worked on Sanchez's previous 7-yard touchdown run.
Let's take a look at Twitter and check out some of the scores around NHIAA football. Salem now leading 21-7 over Merrimack. They've got 7:30 left in the second quarter there. Trying to see what else we have. In the third quarter, Goffstown with a 28-6 lead over Central. Trinity 7, Bishop Girton 7. That's after 1 quarter. And still going down the line here, trying to get you some more scores.
Looks like Austin Wells is up on his feet. He's able to limp off to the other side, so they'll fill in another defensive lineman.
So just one receiver off to the side. That's Dylan Kumbani.
Ooh.
And the pass for Kumbani goes right off his hands, unable to pull it in. It's going to be third down from the 4-yard line. And it was Tyler Clark-Toy on the coverage on Kumbani. He comes up limping on that play, but he's trying to run it off. He's going to head for the sidelines, and we'll see who comes in for number 10. I didn't catch who came out or who came in.
It looks like they might be going to that Bulldog personnel. As Sanchez was talking to Coach Matthews, he looks like he's going to be taking that quarterback position from the 4-yard line.
So that's the first time we're seeing that tonight. The Bulldog featuring Solomon Sanchez at the quarterback slot. 14.9 seconds to go, third down. And it's a handoff to Irwin. He finds a hole and in for the end zone. Touchdown, Bedford.
Yeah, off tackle right side. Easy enough. They had their big dogs up front, ready to move some bodies out of the way. They made a hole for Irwin, and he waltzes in.
So the Concord defense had to keep an eye on Sanchez, and instead he gives it to Irwin, who punches it in for a touchdown with 10 seconds to go here in the half. Michael now in for the snap. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. And that was a great job there by Grudzinkas to pull down that snap. It was a little much to handle, but he got it down, and Michael was able to punch it through. So 28-0's the score. 10 seconds left here in the first half. They'll kick the ball off, and without the Bedford High band to perform for us at halftime, I guess we're going to throw things back to the radio station for a few minutes. Once we get the statistics for the first half, we'll share those with you.
Harry, you're not going to give us a Beatles medley on your own?
You know, kind of comb and some tissue paper?
I bet Bill has a karaoke machine somewhere. Oh, yeah, maybe George has something in the car.
Oh, George, the king of karaoke.
That could get out of hand quickly. I don't know.
No. George was in a heavy metal hair band.
Really?
In his younger days, yes.
What happened?
His hair fell out.
Clearly not in the hair band anymore.
The ball is kicked and landed on by Jacob Halleck.
Oh, jeez.
So Concord takes over at the 24-yard line. I guess they're going to just kneel it out here. They will get the ball to start the second half. Oh, now he's pulling out the pictures.
Wow.
He looks like John Bon Jovi.
My gosh.
Doesn't he? He really does.
Lovely locks.
You're going to have
there.
to put that on the camera.
Wow.
You're going to have to show all the fans at home.
Jeez.
Those locks of love.
Nice tight curls.
And they are taking the knee, and that's going to end the half. Bedford up 28-0 over the Crimson Tide.
Wow, things really unraveled here at the end of the half.
Loosey-goosey.
My gosh.
I know, no professionalism whatsoever.
Well, an impressive first half by the Bedford Bulldogs, 28-0 as you mentioned. And really dominated that first half. And Concord was, as we talked about the last, drive or so, they were really struggling on their special teams, especially in those punt formations. They did get that one quick kick that really turned the table, but otherwise the two kneel downs,
the short punt.
The short punt, the muffed snap back, they've really struggled in the special teams game.
Well, we're going to throw it back to the radio station for a little bit, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. 28-0 Bedford ahead of Concord here after one half of football. You've been listening and watching BCTV 23 and 1072 and Bedford 105.1. Back 28-0 Bedford in the lead with another half of football to go. And they are ready to kick it off. Concord will be receiving this time. 4 scoring plays for the Bulldogs. Alex Zwickau with a 55-yard touchdown pass. Aaron Scaling with a 27-yard touchdown pass. Solomon Sanchez a 7-yard touchdown pass, or actually ran for 7 yards. And then Russell Irwin with a 4-yard run. And those are all the scoring plays for Bedford. Corey, we were looking at the stats, and a number jumps out at us. It's quite incredible. 0 net offense for Concord.
Yeah, and we talked about the reasons for that. You know, some negative plays. We had some sacks in there, but I think the two big ones were those kneel downs on the punts, the missed snaps, and the punter was trying to field it, and unfortunately his knee was on the ground. So those count as negative offensive yards.
They had erased all the offense they had because they actually were moving the ball a bit, but not enough to put any points on the board. There's a kick by Michael. It's going to bounce and picked up at the 15-yard line. Escaped one tackle. Now he finds a lane on the sideline, gets it up to about the 31-yard line. That's Matthew O'Rourke with the return for the Tide.
Crafty little run back there as O'Rourke came back to his left and then wound back to the right-hand side, the near side sideline. Got out to the 33. It was about a 15, maybe 20-yard return.
So we'll see if Concord has anything up their sleeve for the second half, try to get on the board here and keep this game from going into runtime. Next touchdown, 35-0, will make it a runtime game as they come to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 34. There's a snap and a handoff. Running to the left, and a submarine tackle right there that hurt the Bedford player. Who made that tackle?
I think it might have been Sanchez over there.
He's on the field with some pain. The ball carrier, Avery Lawrence, managed to pick up about 3 yards, and the Bedford trainers have to come to the aid of Sanchez. I believe that is Sanchez.
He made a nice tackle out there, too. Maybe
Yeah.
had an arm or shoulder injury. I'm familiar with those things, too, unfortunately.
So now that we have a little bit of time here, let's go over some of the stats. Bedford with 177 yards of offense to 0 for Concord. 26 plays run by the Bulldogs, 29 by Concord. So that's fairly even. Passing 129 yards for Michael, 6 of 13, and 2 touchdown passes. And then Sanchez has just gotten up. Probably got the wind knocked out of him there. Doward, 2 of 7 for 4 yards of passing. On the ground, it's 48 yards rushing for Bedford, -4 for Concord.
Yeah, and you mentioned those 26 total offensive plays for Bedford, 13 pass attempts. That's that even 50-50 split there. So they're going to be pleased with that balance of running and passing. And that's going to keep the defensive Concord team off balance as they can't predict a run or pass.
So here they are at the 38-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 6. Doward, it looks like there was a little bit of motion, but they didn't call it. Avery swarmed by the Bulldogs. He's going to wind up losing about 2 yards.
Yeah, Avery Lawrence was in a tough spot there, as you said. He was swarmed right at the line of scrimmage. Actually lost maybe a yard or 2.
They're going to spot him at the 37, so it will be 3rd down and 7 here.
Big number 77, Magnus Steele on that tackle. Stuffing up that hole, clogging up the middle.
They come to the line of scrimmage with just 2 receivers, but split wide. 2 in the backfield with Doward. And hand off to Avery, and he's going to get tackled for loss.
Fumble.
He fumbled the ball. And who comes up with it? Bedford does. Alex Zwickau picks up the loose ball. It's going to be another turnover for Concord. And they're going to take over on the Tide 30-yard line. Technically, that's really the first turnover for the Tide. The other turnovers of sorts were considered actually turnovers on downs with massive losses on those kneel-down punts.
Yeah, excellent individual effort by Alex Zwickau there. Strung it out, kept his outside leverage, wrapped up Avery Lawrence and got his mitten on that ball, forced it out, got the turnover, and again, you talked about that field position.
And the rain is starting to come down once again. There's a pass by Michael over the middle to Scaling. Cuts up and winds up picking up about 15, 16 yards. It's going to be a 1st down at the 15-yard line.
A good catch by Scaling.
Wide
As you
open.
mentioned, the rain is coming down. The water is not affecting them. pulled that in with his hands and made a great pivot to the inside to get extra yardage.
So 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bedford on the move. They're at the 15-yard line of Concord. Like I said earlier, one more touchdown will be in runtime here.
That seems almost inevitable at this point.
The rain is coming down on the field. Michael, back to pass.
Ooh,
There's a catch and a touchdown. Touchdown.
Not a touchdown. He's on his 2.
On the 1-yard line. That went off the hands of Caverill Madison. And Aaron Scaling had the mind to track the ball in the air and come down with it. They're going to say he was down at the 2-yard line. So a great catch. Not a touchdown, though, like you said. It's going to be first and goal at the 2.
That's exceptional concentration by Scaling. You work on those drills in practice all the time. They call them the tip drills. Both offensive and defensive players work on that. Changes in direction of the ball in flight. They're so hard to follow and track and make a reception after that. So great play by Scaling.
So here we go. Just one receiver on this set. And it's a handoff to Irwin. He's going to run to his left, and he goes into another touchdown. Touchdown Bedford. That's Irwin's second one. And with the extra point, it'll be a 35-0 game.
Efficient. They were effectively given the ball as a gift on the 31-yard line and made quick use of that turnover to turn it into 7 points.
That's been the bugaboo for the Tide all day today, giving the Bedford Bulldogs great field position.
Did you just say bugaboo?
I did.
Wow.
And the kick is good. Nice high arching kick through the uprights, and here we are, 35-0 with 9:19 to go in the third quarter. Bugaboo.
He said it again. A bugaboo.
It's an age thing.
Got another update from Salem. They're up 34-13 with a minute 18 left and a half. A lot of scoring. Still in the first half for Salem and Merrimack. So that's quite a game. Trying to see if there's anything else coming up on the old Twitter feed. Well, we're getting this game. Somebody's paying attention.
Okay.
I guess that's the
Concord High School.
The Concord High Twitter feed. So that's all we've got for you right now. We'll get our mind back into the game here. Michael's ready to kick it off. 35-0. I believe we're in runtime now, right? Right, boys?
I would imagine after this kickoff that clock is going to run. Interesting development. We saw Solomon Sanchez injured on a tackle in that last defensive series, and it looks like he might have his shoulder pads off and is on the sideline. Might be calling it a day.
The return by Matthew O'Rourke, a pretty good one. Picked it up at the 15, brought it up to 35, 36-yard line, 21-yard return. Gives the Tide the ball on their own 36-yard line with 9 minutes to go exactly here in the third quarter, but they're trailing 35-0.
And back to Sanchez. Looks like he has ice on that left shoulder, and a 35-0 lead. Coach Matthews is going to keep him safely on the sideline.
So that submarine tackle, he might have caught a knee in the shoulder, and that never feels good.
Doesn't look too worse for the wear. You know, he's not in a lot of pain. He's just standing and observing. Looks like he's talking to the training or medical staff.
Doward picks up the low pass and sends it out to number 3, Toy Clark, or Clark Toy. Tyler Clark Toy, number 3, picks up about 5 yards. Gets him up to the 41-yard line, 2nd and 5.
A quick pitch and catch. That was an efficient play. Keeps them ahead of the chains. So 2nd and 5, those are manageable type downs.
That's only the second time we've seen them run that play, and it is a good play. You would think they'd run it a little more since it's been very effective for them.
Yeah, the challenge is if you go back to the well on that too many times, then your D-backs are going to start to jump.
So Doward handles the low snap, hands it to Avery. Avery's got a little bit of room, but not until he's pulled down by a pair of Bedford's players, 39, Finn O'Neill, and number 45, was that McAuliffe? Am I remembering the number? The McAuliffe just came to the game replacing Hayden Cheney.
I was just dazzled by the nifty footwork by Avery Lawrence there. He was able to avoid a couple of tacklers early and gain another 3 or 4 yards to make it a 3rd and short.
It's going to be 3rd and 2 now from the 45-yard line. 7:16 to go here in the third quarter. Bedford leading 35-0. Doward in the shotgun. Low snap, gives it to Avery. He's got the first down up to the 50-yard line, just over the midfield stripe in the Bedford territory.
A solid blocking up front there. That Concord offensive line moved people out of the way and gave a good hole for Avery Lawrence on that play. Good 7-yard gain or so, and it looks like it's going to be right at the 50.
So another decent drive here for Concord, moving the ball. Haven't had too many of those tonight. Looks like the rain still has eased up a little bit. Still coming down. 2 receivers set here. There's a handoff to Avery. He's able to punch his way up for about 4 yards up to the 46-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You know, it's going to sound subtle here, but that snap came right back in perfect spot for Doward. He didn't have to jump. He didn't have to reach down to his shoelaces. So that allowed the offense to have no short delay.
You're exactly right. It throws off the timing of the play when the quarterback has to make an adjustment for a low or a high snap.
Sure. And Avery Lawrence was able to hit the hole. The lineman had some people out of the way for a 4-yard gain.
Now that pass was a little low. Gave it to Avery. He picks up another chunky yards, another 3 yards right there. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 up to the 42-yard line of Bedford.
Good tough run. It looks like Bedford has some of their backup players in there. So a lot of the starters have migrated to the sideline. Get some new numbers and new names out there. And it looks like Avery Lawrence is struggling to get up. He had a tough run there, another 4-yard gain, but he took a couple shots there on the tackle.
Well, we have a moment here. Let's remind you about the 7-0 varsity volleyball team here at Bedford. They defeated Hollis Brookline 3-0 last night. So they are undefeated. The next playoff game for the varsity field hockey team, that's going to be on Wednesday. And that event is going to be live streamed over YouTube and Facebook.
Looks like Avery Lawrence is.
And then, of course, on Tuesday the 20th, it's going to be the Division I Golf Championship, Bedford Varsity Golf.
Okay, so an update. It sounds like Cody Rashid has been wearing number 27 because he had blood on his shirt earlier. So he switched from number 9 to number 27.
And there's a handoff right there by Jacob. Trying to get that name for you, Halleck. Jacob Halleck. He runs all the way in for a touchdown, 42-yard run for Concord. They get on the board.
Nice play. Got some room out on that left edge.
That caught him by surprise. So you're saying that Rashid is number 27?
Yeah, they switched numbers. I guess he had blood on his jersey, so they switched his jersey.
Well, I see a number 1 out there. That's Doward, the quarterback. Okay.
Right. So we were saying number 9 switched to number 27.
And Jacob Plant is ready for the extra point. This is an unusual lineup. Did you notice how they had everybody off to the side?
Yeah, so they try to.
A little bit of trickery there.
Well, yeah, you know, the special teams guys, sometimes they line up way to the left or the right side of the ball, see if the defense is going to line up and be able to cover it, and then they shift back over and kick the extra point. So it really depends on whether or not they leave some players back near the snapper and the holder and the kicker. And if they have some athletic skilled players there, they may try to get a cheap 2 points.
We've got a final from Goffstown, or actually this was played at the stadium in Manchester. Goffstown with a 35-6 win over Central. So the Grizzlies remain undefeated. They're 4-0. And the Little Green are at 0-4. So now they line up properly here for the extra point. And the kick is blocked, and it's picked up by Bedford. They're going to try to run it back. No, the officials blow it dead.
It looked like a little bit of a shank there by Jacob Plant.
Finn O'Neill tried to run it back. The officials, I guess, on a block, they called play dead. But I thought that you could run back an extra point for 2 points. Is that not allowed?
I'm thinking that's just college, Harry. You're a little ahead of yourself.
Oh, the NFL must allow it too.
Well, yes, absolutely. I think it was just a shank, Coach.
Ken just said, no, not high school.
So the official word is no, you cannot run back an extra point.
Yeah. That's the official Bill Jennings word. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll take credit.
So now we're back to stop time. As the score is 35-6, Concord getting on the board. An excellent run there by Jacob Halleck. 42-yard run there for the Tide, gets them on the board. Again, as Corey mentioned, Coach Zach Matthews giving some of his bench players a little varsity time here.
Just getting clarification on the running back's name. It's actually Cody Rashid. We've been pronouncing it incorrectly.
Thank you. So they were missing an E. So here's a pooch kick that's easily fielded by Bedford.
Ooh.
And brought up to the 47-yard line. Let's see who got that pick up there.
Looked like it was Russell Irwin. Is that what you saw, 32?
No, I thought that was number 3. I think that was Hayden Cheney who came up with the ball, ran it. So Bedford with good field position again. They're at their own 47-yard line with 4:36 to play here in the third.
We have Justin Attar coming in at quarterback. He's going to relieve Joe Michael.
Michael with a great night. Michael was 6 of 13 passing for 129 yards, two touchdowns.
Oof.
And a handoff and a tackle for loss. Russell Irwin winds up losing about a yard maybe. It's going to be second down and 11.
There's some new wideouts in there too. Colby Snow and Jack Carroll getting some plays on the offensive side of the ball.
They're going to call it no gain, so it'll be second down and 10.
Looks like Andrew Gridzinskis is out there, split wide to the left. So good to see some of the younger and less experienced players getting some time.
These are some of the JV players that I got to see over the weekend. Attar, he got hit, and the ball popped into the air, and it's an interception. Number 73, a lineman's dream, Austin Wells. We've called his name a few times today. He picked up an interception, and Concord's going to take over at the 25-yard line.
It looked like Justin Attar was not ready for the speed there, right? It looked like they were setting up a screen pass, and those defensive linemen got in there quickly. Somebody got a hand on his arm and ball, and that thing popped right up in the air. And as you said, that's a defensive lineman's dream. Austin Wells picks it off, rumbles back about 15 or 20 yards, and they're setting up their Concord offensive team on the Bedford 25.
So the Tide have some life here. They're on the board. We'll see if they can add some more points to the board.
It's a delicate balance here for Coach Matthews. Again, if they punch something in here, you know, you're going to try to put your starters back in on the field.
So Doward fakes the handoff, drops back, throws the ball over the middle, touchdown! Cody Rashid.
I'm sorry, I think that's Tyler Clark Toy, number 3 on the reception.
No, I thought that was number 9.
Number 3.
No, you're
Harry.
right. It is. You're right. It is Toy.
And plus, number 9 has blood all over it. He's wearing 27. We're all mixed up here.
Yeah. Can't keep it straight. Thank you very much. So the 25-yard pass from Zachary Doward to Tyler Clark Toy makes it 35-12. And we'll see if Concord tries to go for 2 points here. Try to make it a 3-score game.
Yeah, I have to say it was a really nice ball thrown by Zachary Doward on that ball. It looked like about a 15, 17-yard dig or inside cut by the receiver. Maybe an inside slant.
There's a handoff. And Doward, a little indecision on his part. I think he could have walked in if he hadn't pulled up. He gets tackled short of the goal line, so a failed 2-point attempt. Really, he kind of pulled up when his blocker was in his way, but he could have just went to either side and might have gotten into the end zone that way. So
it did seem like he hesitated a bit there. If he continued out wide, giving himself a few different options, snuck in behind his blocking teammate out there.
So the score is now 35-12. 2 quick touchdowns here by the Tide. And we'll see if Coach Matthews decides to pull some of his bench players off and put the starters back in.
Yeah, I'm looking at that replay on the 2-point conversion. It looked like it was a pass play. It looked like he had an outside receiver that ran a slant that wasn't open. So that's probably what the hesitation was. And that hesitation caused him to get snagged up there, and the Bedford defense came up and tackled, prevented that 2-point conversion.
Well, Londonderry is taking out their aggression for losing to Bedford last week on the Wyndham Jaguars. They've got a 33-0 lead at the half.
Ooh. Well, that's gonna
There's
go
a
out
kick
of
by
bounds.
Plant, and the ball will go out of bounds. Then Bedford will take over at the 35-yard line. And we've got a score from Exeter. They're up 22-0 over Spalding at the half.
All right, so some younger players out there again. Let's see if they keep the ball on the ground. Joe Michael's going to come back in at the helm, though.
So they're going to go back to Michael here.
Yep.
And
Scaling and Zwickau. And we have Kambani back out there, so.
Yeah, there's still a lot of time left in the game. They
Sure.
don't want to let Concord get back in it.
Get a good ball control offensive drive here. Or throw
Michael
it down
over the middle,
Yeah,
and
it's
and
offensive.
there's a pass interference flag right there. That was intended for Scaling.
Yeah, defensive pass interference there. Looked like came in a little bit early, bumped Scaling off that play by number 5 there,
So is that
Gabriel Madison.
a spot foul?
It should not be. It's a 15-yard penalty in
They're going to move it
high school.
up to the 50. Okay, so they're going to take over now, 1st and 10 at the 50 on that interference penalty.
Yeah, high school and college, that's a 15-yard penalty. The NFL, it's a spot foul.
So 1st and 10 for Bedford, 1:32 to go in the third quarter. It's a handoff to Irwin, moving laterally to his left, and he can't evade the wall of tacklers right there.
Yeah.
Irwin get taken down.
Kamwimba Twite, number 55 for Concord, in pursuit of the play, went head over heels right there at the end. In on the tackle.
So no gain. This will be 2nd down and 10. Coming up on a minute to go here in the third quarter. 35-12 is your score. 3 touchdowns in this third quarter, 1 by Bedford, 2 by Concord. 2 quick ones. So they come back to the line, taking their time now. 2 receivers out there for Bedford. Michael hands it off straight away to Irwin. He gets about 2 yards and he's driven back. Maybe just 1 yard. They're going to call it 3rd and 9.
Yeah, not surprising to see Coach Matthews keep the ball on the ground there, keep that clock running. Take the air out of the ball. And you got 3rd and 9.
We may not even see a snap here before the clock runs out in the third quarter. We're at 9 seconds, 8, 7, 6. We'll see what they do. Wait to take their time here. No, they snap it just before the play runs out. And there's a pass.
Oh, got it. He's got that 1st down. That's Scaling again.
Going
on the
upstairs
reception
for that ball. You know, it looked like he had another receiver out there. I think Kumbani was a little farther up the sideline. I wasn't sure if that ball was intended for him. But Scaling jumped up and pulled it down anyway. Picks up a 1st down, I believe, and that's going to end the third quarter. 12 minutes of regulation play to go. Bedford leading 35-12.
Yeah, Scaling made a nice play there, but he was hobbling over the sideline there. Looked like he might have tweaked an ankle. And you're right, there were 2 receivers over there. They normally try to get 2 levels of receivers, meaning you get a deep receiver and a short or mid-range receiver to put some pressure on the defensive backfield. So Kambani might have run off either the cornerback or the safety on that wide right side, far sideline. Scaling came underneath and gained the necessary yardage for that first down.
So Memorial is in danger of losing their first game. They're down 14-0 after 3 quarters at Winnicunnet. And with a win here for Bedford and a loss by Memorial, that will put them at a tie for second place in the conference.
They're going to go back to the ground is my guess here. Give the ball to Russell Irwin, smack it up in the middle, keep that clock running.
1st and 10 at the 43. Zwickau moves to his left. And the handoff right there to number 21, Owen Christopher. He's got a seam. He's going to go. No, he gets pulled down from behind, but not after picking up about 30 yards.
Some
Down
great
to the 14.
Speed. Great speed out to the outside left. Looked like it could have been off tackle. He bounced it outside and had a great burst.
Owen Christopher with his first carry of the night makes it a big one. It gives Bedford a first down at the Concord 14-yard line. So here we go. We've got 2 receivers, actually 3 receivers out there. Jack Carroll is out, as is Scaling. And the pass is for Scaling, but, he ran into a Concord defender.
Gabriel Madison came up. Nice play.
Good
Honestly,
timing play.
excellent timing. Got there right at the same time as the ball. Shoulder to shoulder. Good hit. Clean play.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 14. So
Yep.
Bedford staying aggressive. They're going to the air. Not content to just run the ball out here, although I bet they'll run it here.
That's a tough play for a D-back, just back to that last play. I mean, you get there a split second early, you're getting called for pass interference. So very nice play there. Yeah, those shades of Malcolm Butler, as Bill Jennings mentions in the background.
And Carroll gets the ball and picks up 2 yards there down to the... Actually, they're going to say just 1 yard. He's got it to the 13-yard line. So we'll have 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Yeah, again, as we thought, this is a good ball control offensive series for the Bulldogs. And we're already 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. I think Coach Matthews wanted to settle his team down after a couple of quick touchdowns by the Concord team.
And I would guess they're within field goal range here, perhaps, about a 32, 33-yard attempt if they don't gain any more yardage.
Yeah, Michael has the leg for that.
So it's going to be Irwin up the middle, and he gets it to about the 8-yard line, which might not be enough for the first. I think we're going to have 4th down and 3.
Yeah, it looks like he's on the 6.
So it's going to be 4th and 2. He has to get to the 4-yard line.
Okay.
And it looks like they're going to go for it here. So 9:15 to go in regulation. They're going to send 3 receivers out, 2 to the left. Irwin in the backfield, Michael in the shotgun, and handoff to Irwin, and he fights his way down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Bedford.
It's a good scrappy run right there.
Yeah, Irwin just twisting and turning his way through the Concord defense, getting himself 3 yards. He only needed 2, but he got himself, actually got
About 5
down
yards.
to about 5 yards,
Yeah.
5 or 6 yards down to the 1-yard line. So
Yeah, we've seen runs from him like that all year, right? He gets hit, bounces off, maybe a turn, a spin, maybe a cut, but he rarely goes down on first contact, and that was a great example of him getting a scrappy run, getting him down to the 1-yard line for a 1st and goal.
So Irwin is lined up behind the quarterback, and once again,
There you go.
bounces off a tackle, and his second effort gets him over the goal line. Touchdown, Bedford. I believe that's his 3rd touchdown of the day.
Yeah, that's good to see. Again, he exemplified exactly what I just said. That hole was stuffed up in the middle by the Concord defense, but he bounced it out to the outside. They didn't wrap him up. He kept his feet going, and he popped it in around the right edge.
So Michael lining up for another extra point with Andrew Gudzinkas holding it for him. At the bouncing snap, he's able to pull it down, and a great kick. It's good. Gudzinkas really earning his keep tonight with those snaps. That one hit the ground before it reached him. He was able to pull it down and still get it set up for Michael.
Gotta love your good holder. Usually it's a punter or another sure-handed player, a wide receiver, sometimes a quarterback, backup quarterback that will operate as the holder.
So with 8:14 to play, Bedford responds after 2 touchdowns by the Tide. It's now 42-12.
And Grinzinkas is one of the wide receivers, so sure-handed. Can get that ball down on the tee for Michael. And again, Michael's successful, so he's perfect on those extra points.
As we mentioned at the start of the show, Pinkerton, originally scheduled for next week, has decided to cancel their fall season because of a COVID outbreak at the school. And they're currently working on a new opponent, if possible, for next week. So we're not sure if we're going to have a bye week or a 5th regular season game. We should know more a little bit later on in the week. There's a kick by Michael. Line drive picked up by Bedford by Concord at the 15-yard line. And a good return almost to the 40. That was O'Rourke with the return. Good 25-yard return right there. Gets him up to the 39-yard line where the Tide will take over.
I think that was actually Hewitt Spencer on the kickoff there, number 17. Again, getting some of the younger players some time, although Spencer is a senior.
Parker will start this drive at a young 39.
So we'll see what the Tide do here. Time is running. We're back to running time now. 7:27 to play. Clock is running. And I wonder if they have a new snapper in there, number 77 for Concord. There's a handoff to Halleck, Jacob Halleck. He had the touchdown run a little while ago, and he picks up about 6 yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 from the 46-yard line.
Yeah, quick clarification on that, Harry, that once the team goes ahead by 35 points, they do not stop the running time.
So we have been in run time since the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Oh, a snap. It hit a body on the way to Doward. Luckily, it bounced into his hands, but not after a loss of about 4 yards. So negative play right there. It'll be 3rd down and 13 from the 43-yard line.
Yeah, they've struggled with that quarterback and center exchange all night long. Low snaps, high snaps, deflecting off some of their players.
Actually, correction, it's going to be 3rd and 6. They have to get to the 49-yard line. Another low snap. Doward gets down for it, throws it to the sideline, and it looks complete to Tyler Clark-Toy. He gets it just over the 50-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for Concord.
That's a good pitch and catch there. Way out to the far side, wide side of the field. A lot of space over there.
It's that quick out that we talked about.
And Clark-Toy made a sure-handed grab and danced out of bounds to stop the clock. Actually, it won't stop the clock because we just talked about that.
So 5:29 to play. The Tide with another 1st down here. The snap, Doward gets it. Fakes the handoff, but he doesn't get away from
Magnus Steele.
the arms of Magnus Steele, a sack.
That's good discipline right there. So on the play fake, you get those DNs sometimes crashing down on the running backs. But Magnus Steele saw that Doward still had the ball, maintained discipline, got his hands on him, and made the tackle. Great sack.
They're going to lose 7 yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 17 from the Concord 44.
Those negative yardage plays, they kill you. Down in distance, now 2nd and 17. You don't have a play for that. Got to try to make up that lost yards in little chunks.
Oh, that was a mistiming play. There's a pass by
Oh,
Doward,
wow.
but he hits his man.
Never mind, little chunks.
That's Toy Clark. Gets it all the way to the Bedford 20-yard line, first down for Concord. That play looked like it was in trouble when number 12, I don't have a name for him on the roster, but he kind of ran into Doward on that play. I thought maybe they were going to wind up with a busted play, but instead Doward found Tyler Clark Toy over the middle for a big gainer all the way down to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 here for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, the timing looked awkward, but as you said, number 12, he came through and did the play fake.
And another pass that was intended for number 12. And again, we apologize, we don't have the name there. I guess some of the Concord players have been switching jerseys here today because number 9.
And they've noticeably pretty much abandoned their run game. You know, you get behind 30 points and you have to go to the air. But we have notably not seen Cody Rashid out there, who had switched numbers. Looks like number 32, Jacob Halleck, is now in the backfield.
Doward with the snap. Throws it across, intended for 12. And he's not able to get his hands on it. Another incomplete pass, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10 from the Bedford 20. And we're under 3 minutes to go.
That clock keeps ticking. Number 12 was out there in space, got a hand on it. Couldn't corral it.
We got an update here. BG leading 21-7 over Trinity. That's a pretty good game. It sounds like a potential upset there. And another tough snap there for Doward. Changes direction, running, has to change direction again. Still behind the line of scrimmage, makes the throw. Ooh. Not sure who that was intended for, Toy or...
Looked like number 7, William Algren, was there.
So it's going to be 4th down now.
Concord takes a timeout. 2 minutes left. They want to try to get another scoring play.
Make it respectable here. The game's pretty much in the bag for Bedford with a 30-point lead.
So 4th and 10. I don't imagine they'll go for a field goal here. I don't imagine they'll punt, so you got to try to figure out some kind of 10-yard play. And see if they could hit Clark Toy on either one of those inside dig patterns, maybe a slant over the middle, post pattern, something like that. He's had some good opportunities, and he has some younger defensive backs in the defensive backfield that he might be able to fool here. And he's way out to the far side, isolated, in a seemingly one-on-one type position.
So here we go, 4th and 10. Doward,
there it is.
The throw, complete to Toy, touchdown. Crimson Tide. 20-yard pass play to Tyler Clark Toy. Makes it 42-18.
I don't know. I think I channeled a little Romo there.
Yeah, you did. You called that. You had the one-on-one. Toy's been his most reliable receiver.
He made a nice release out there, got the inside position.
And they put Toy out wide again. Also, Caverill Madison out there as well. 4 receivers out there for Concord on this 2-point conversion. Doward throws it over the middle, and it's good to whoever number 12 is.
Unfortunately, we don't have his name.
You know, musical jerseys here by the Crimson Tide, so we can't name everybody, but they don't care because they just got an 8-point play there and makes it a much more respectable 42-20 game.
Yeah, Zachary Doward really stuffed it in there, too. There was about 2 or 3 Bedford defenders right around number 12 for Concord. Got it into just a small little window where his receiver could make that catch.
So the clock is stopped with 1:58 to play. I'm getting ready to kick the ball off to Bedford. I probably figure we're going to see some kind of onside attempt. Maybe a pooch kick, some attempt to maintain possession here with minute 58 to play in the game.
Might put some sure-handed kickoff return guys on that front line.
No, they got their big boys out there.
Yeah.
Parker Henryshawn is out there.
Formation would dictate that they're probably going to kick it deep, but you never know.
Also out there, Magnus Steele. Let's see what they do here. Plant getting ready to kick it, and
Kicks
nope,
it away.
they just kick it away. And it's picked up.
Scaling.
Finds the seam. Fights through one tackle, gets all the way up to the 48 or 49 yard line, where Bedford will take over. Clock is still running, 1:45 here. Bedford can just kneel it out here. Well, I fully expect them to just go into victory formation.
They have their youngsters in. Maybe they give them a couple of runs from the backfield.
Number 6, Colby Snow, is in there.
I'm guessing Justin Attar is back in there and quarterback role.
Actually, Evan Chabadi is in for the game. I believe he will be serving as quarterback. We'll find out here.
That does look like Chabadi.
He's in the shotgun, and they wind up handing off the ball. Burst up the middle there.
Logan
and a
Sphere.
gain of about 7 yards.
41. Logan Sphere on the carry. We're down to about 50 seconds to play.
So maybe one more play here for the game.
And the rain is starting to come down a little bit harder.
So again, Corey, thank you very much for joining me on this broadcast. We will know later in the week if we have a broadcast next Friday.
It's always a pleasure, Harry. Thanks for inviting me again.
Always a lot of fun here. Got one more play with 27 seconds to go. Chabadi hands it off to Sphere. This time he gets taken down after no gain.
And that'll do it. With 15 seconds left, they're going to run out that clock.
George Cox and Bill Jennings on the camera and production side. Thank you very much, guys. Great job as always.
Unfortunately, we have a Concord player that's down and injured. They did stop the clock.
So they can't stop the game quite yet. 6.8 seconds to go. Do you happen to have the scoring?
Not all of it. Not all of it, but I did what I could. We have touchdowns in the first half by Zwickau, Scaling, Sanchez, and Irwin for the Bedford Bulldogs. It was 28-0 at halftime. And then scoring plays by Concord in the second half were a long run by Halleck, and then that 27-yard TD or so from Clark Toy, as well as that last one that we saw was about another 20 yards or so. So 2 touchdowns by Clark Toy, but those were answered by Russell Irwin's 2 touchdowns as well. So we're going to end up with a score of 42-20.
Yeah, the officials decided to run the clock despite the injured player. So the game is officially over. The final score, Bedford 42 and Concord 20. Bedford improves to 3-1. So for Bedford 105.1, BC TV 23 and 1072, we thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. We'll see you next week.